were not born to meet them. Yeah, we get hope, say one day we go make them. We were not born to meet money, less opportunity. Still we want be somebody. It's not easy. We not but one day we two go talk but not
the people, sometimes people think that, you know, I just wake up one morning and say, okay, you know, it's make I can do this thing, but or I just wake up one morning and say, make I do this. One thing where I like for tell people is to tell them that the reason I'm an activist and advocate for women and girls, and it took me a very long time to get my voice in the sense like I am someone who was like, I was abused when I was a child. I went through sexual abuse when I was a child, and even at that, and I got raped when I was a child, and even when I grew up, you know, as a woman, you know, I got raped a couple of times. I'm not ashamed, you know. It took me a very long time to talk about it, but I never for once, you know, have the guts to talk about it. I never for once have the confidence into talking, you know, even talking to my mom or talking to anyone else. I didn't have that voice because I didn't grow up in
we were not born to meet them. Yeah, we get hope, say one day we go make them. We were not born to meet money, less opportunity. Still we want be somebody. It's not easy. We not but one day we two go talk but not design we from home.
To these people to embrace me. I'm Sierra Leonean, I'm good. But it was hard.
I feel you, trust me.
Serious. It was hard for them to believe that I was never deported. I never had an issue. You know what I mean? At one point, they had a whole website gossiping about me, talking about, oh, and Kiss is running away from the popo. Like, it was a whole lot of people were talking about me. Like, that became a deporter. People in America were sitting there like, and it just got and goes through, because what it was is I wasn't really, my family knew, but all the people in the streets that I used to hang out with or with the parties, no one knew my plans. So everybody's like, now the problem, go don't get, like go salon, it's going to salon, all it's okay for an eye. You know how they think.
I know, that pulling down syndrome.
Exactly. So one of my friends, she was an acquaintance. When I went to visit, she told me, she's like, you know, I confess. I said, what happened? He said, me. I want to talk to something, a problem gets. He said, you cannot expect it. You're guy like you go salon.
We were not born to meet them. Yeah, we get hope, say one day we go make them. We were not born to meet money, less opportunity. Still we want be somebody. It's not easy. We not but one day we two go talk but not design we from home.
Okay, so I attend Better Sample, then from there I go the animals, and then I go IPAM. So growing up, as I say, was not easy. My mommy be a soldier, she was a fighter, she was everything literally. And then she died from cancer. We been get for change everything around, because even though everything was not on a bed of roses, but then when my mommy was alive, it was a whole different story, because with a lot of things, at least she, like, ain't been getting covered. But then when she died, my mommy died 2 weeks after Situas. Okay, at first, growing up, as I say, my mommy and I been the warrior. She did lots of things for us to survive. And along the way, I've been getting for tag along. I remember when from 2, when I've been to go up and for sale, he been get stoned at off court. So you know that kind of thing when you know this popular kid in school, like everybody knows in it. And then after school, I go sell. But then the thing was, I get this kind of personality where I don't really care what people think ever since I grew up. So for me, I was okay. But then again, trust me, it's not easy, because especially when you get intimidating friends where kind of they use that day at you, but back then I don't really care. And then
we were not born to meet them. Yeah, we get hope, say one day we go make them. We were not born to meet money, less opportunity. God not design we pampo.
Very atmospherism. I am very enthusiastic.
Okay.
When you see me face, you know say this is suffer.
Na Creole this so.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So, okay. And when you saw my face, you saw the bookies in my jabon. You will not say I am suffer bad one. You know, from the days of one pot.
Okay.
When I was with one pot, it's very strong. It's very strong. Very banner. Anybody where
We were not born to meet them. Let we get hope, say one day we go make them. We were not born to meet money, less opportunity. Still we want be somebody. It's not easy. We not pop in. One day we two go turn to God not design we pampo.
Study bongo now artists will tell me say the music is not just for free to go to the provinces, I did the money there. And of course you may be come up and doing your own part, you know what I mean? And but one of my biggest inspiration in like me grandpa when I fella, you know what I mean? Me fella na my biggest inspiration. I listen to fella so much. He speak na my music life, you understand? Then coming to I don't work with artists them, of course. I don't work with Negadon of LXG for not being part of my record label. He been the money making machine. You know what I mean? I don't work with Raim. Of course, Raim now we start the money making machine. I don't work with Boku Sarah the Great, M2, Article for your coolest. We all not work together. These all are people and we are money make them all be represent money making machine as a family. When I mean I be the CEO. You know what I mean? Then I not stop. I continue. Now I'm not basically I'm only for sign artists them for I support them in my own way. One of the artists then where they do very well now the country in Rap G. You know what I mean? I feel say me like an inspiration to and like a big brother back in the community wherein as I say
We were not born to meet them. Let we get hope, say one day we go make them. We were not born to meet money, less opportunity. Still we want be somebody. It's not easy. We not pop up in. One day we two go turn to God not design we pampo.
Excuse me, but I just call you then say you know fit boy if it's brother and for that and then send you back for camp.
Oh my God.
You know, past DJ Base, they said no to them question. Yeah, I hope you wait yourself for hoping for talk about the music what this man do. You understand? Come to that. Me and KOK all waiting there between me and him, na respect. And I grew up na that kind home day where we the respect with elders them. I don't want to disrespect nobody in my life. Like Pekin, big one. Now so are they. The only person you want to know say even take some music business. I know say me and him don't get dispute na cow. And that was long time ago, I think 2008.
So
yeah, I mean
to cow, I think that now waiting I be want to really ask about because we really did run out of time. Time not in favor right now, you know. Time not really doing in favor, but we need for like why two things where people need you for touch on, right? Why you think say beefing always they erupt among hip hop artists then? Waiting they bring kind of beef. Is it so much pride and that kind of thing where Dan if you say always they above the next person, or is it a competitive nature and they make another see one side? Waiting can trigger this beef amongst hip hop artists then.
na ego.
Start the ego. Oh my god.
Na ego. Like
We were not born to meet them. Let we get hope, say one day we go make them. We were not born to meet money, less opportunity. Still we want be somebody. It's not easy. We not pop up in. One day we two go turn to God not design we pampo.
I go on a radio station, a citizen, at the east part of town. So I then at the radio, somebody call and ask, say, Cow, you know Noble Squad? And truthfully, I don't know Noble Squad internally. I don't know say any crew they will name Noble Squad. So I say, Udana Noble Squad. Basically, I don't know if they go tell them or it take them some kind of way. Next thing I can know is I just hear the song. He puts a song out, like all kind of thing he talk about the song. So I say, okay, as a hip hop artist, I go meet the producer who make the beat for him. I say, I want that same beat there, where you make for you, where you diss me. Now the same beat I dey use for this and back. So I get the beat, I diss yoke, the song come out. It's history. We meet up, we get confrontation here and there. We end up on police case. You know, yoke make allegation against me, say, see me with pistol, they want arrest me, then detain me in a police station. You know, it was serious. It begin go beyond music now. You know, plenty.
We were not born to meet them. Let we get hope, say one day we go make them. We were not born to meet money, less opportunity. Still we want be somebody. It's not easy. We not pop but one day we too go turn to God not this.
I deal with motivational talks then, public speaking, volunteerism, and all the rest. So like Miss Wangre no go able share myself all over na the one whole country. So wetin I decide is that since I get this thing wey dey born in me, I need for put am in a book whereby even the last person wey dey na the extreme end of Sierra Leone, if he get hold on to this book, yeah, himself go able teach himself, say there is no need for letting him give up on life. If Solomon don't pass through this, at a time like this, though nothing no okay for our age, but at least hope day. So himself go get hope. So now one of the great things and the way inspire me for life because I need to give hope to young people then out there. Hope way we forget say even though in hard today, probably tomorrow the better day awaits us all. One of the things that we make and write the book. The book is for everybody, but my main concern are young people then. Because like, we get the highest.
We were not born to meet them. Let we get hope, say one day we go make them. We were not born to meet money, less opportunity. Still we want be somebody. It's not easy. We not pop but one day we too go turn to God not design we from home.
Sing, a great legend of Salone. Whose kind music Emerson don't sing? Whose kind talk? Whose kind fet? Whose kind challenge Emerson don't take? At the end of the day, what's in the impact? What's in the impartation? What's in the positive effect? Nothing. Nothing. In fact, now the 10 said the people then butu para self because the one they we describe the way they this party. They like we not so they then power you they sing against the other party. They love it. They like you. They clap for you. They celebrate you. But they tell when they kind of party now when they kind of power they own tribe kind of power where you then do bad you sing against them and then turn you enemy. You know what I mean? So what is the use? Like I'm like this is a waste of time. Like. So it's like, okay, we like what you do, we like the true way they talk, but just sing against the other party, no man, the other tribe. We
were not born to meet them. Let we get hope, say one day we go make them. We were not born to meet money, less opportunity. Still we want be somebody. It's not easy. We not pop but one day we too go turn to God not this.
It was life as usual. When you're growing up, you don't really think that these are difficult situations for you. You just think that I have to live one day at a time. In school, obviously I was a good student. I mean, from the onset, I was always a good student. Even though I didn't have somewhere to sit and study, I could just listen in class. And then that was it. My study opportunity was just by the time I was in school. So I spent 6 years because when I came to Freetown, I was in class 3. I repeated the year, and then I got to class 7. I spent 5 years at Batter Street Infant School. It was later changed to Methodist City Mission, and we took the NPSC. Was it NPSC? Selective entrance. We took the selective entrance, and then I got this.
We were not born to meet them. Let we get hope, say one day we go make them. We were not born with money, less opportunity. Still we want be somebody. It not easy. We not popping. One day we two go turn to God not this.
Well, you know, I have the four of you. You can just go there and go there with a lens. They just feel left for say it gets you on picking, you know, you go to help them around and what have you. So I moved down go Yangema. I continued my primary school in Yangema. I went to the Roman Catholic Primary School for girls, then which was called RC Girls commonly. My Yangema, I think I did it up to class 4. And those were like really trying times for me as a child. I think I went there when I was about age 6, going 7. But like the memories I had, you know, the thing of men picking, I've been get for experience and firsthand. And with it, and like, you know, at age 7, I get for gap in the morning, take buckets, go build water for scam, left the water in the house before I get chance for go school. If then they cook run, I get for wash pots, you know, that sit up on top of the pot. And then say you did not on top of pot, they actually scrub out your foot. Make sure the pot clean before you go school. You know, I even got to a point where I get for sell in the morning, you know.
We were not born to meet them. Let we get hope, say one day we go make them. We were not born to meet money, less opportunity. Still we want be somebody. It not easy. We not popping. One day we two go turn to God not this.
You know, life of not having everything that you want as a child. So I basically grew up in the southern and eastern part of Sierra Leone. I was born in Bo. I spent my early formative years in Kono. So my primary school years was in Kono. So I went to primary school there, and then I came back to Bo. So I attended Bo School. That's where I did my high school. So that's my background. But when you're talking about challenges growing up, I think, you know, I definitely want to go back and tell you the story of my father. You know, my father was an orphan. He was born in Guinea, so he basically walked from Guinea all the way to Sierra Leone on foot, right, to come and try to make a living for himself. So he came with basically nothing to Sierra Leone, nothing. And he was a baker at the time, at some point in his life. And then he graduated from baking to buying.
We were not born to meet them. Let we get hope, say one day we go make them. We were not born to meet money, less opportunity. Still we want be somebody. It not easy. We not popping. One day we two go turn to God not this.
I am so glad to be here and to share a little bit about my story with you and people out there. And so, my story is very long, but trust me, I'll cut it short. I will try to make it very short. Starting from the village where I was born and where I was captured by the rebels. I don't need to share with you guys the whole history about the war in Sierra Leone because most of you know what happened in Sierra Leone as we went through 11-year civil war and at the end of the day most of the people that suffered was the very innocent people. I was actually 10 turning 11 when I was captured by the rebels. So the village where I was born, I didn't grow.
We were not born to meet them. Let we get hope, say one day we go make them. We were not born to meet money, less opportunity. Still we want be somebody. It not easy. We not popping. One day we two go turn to God not this.
Much, I'm not rich, but I believe that I owe a duty to myself to be one person amongst the crowd where we really take on issues without even getting connections with people. So within the period of my advocacy, I must say I will not enjoy them. Within the first 1 year, 2 years, and I told you I don't just celebrate, so I don't get any funding. Nobody no ever call me say Thomas More will fund you on this, will fund you on that. All we have been using is mega sums we receive from family members, this, that, which I get from now they use for the carry out my activities. That is why So at a time in the organization in life, whilst people ain't going to talk over there and what have you, we now say we engage a resourceful organization out of this country and see how we face a lot of challenges. One for see how we advocate for people. One for see how we support nation building. But we can't.
We were not born in midterm. Let we get hope, say one day we go make them. We were not born with money, less opportunity. Still we want be somebody. It's not easy. We not pop up in. One day we too go turn to go. God not design we from go.
But then because my daddy be wants me for learn the culture of being a Ghanaian, that is his wish. He's sick, he gets stroke, and all he wanted was me. So I began for go Ghana and begin go school. But then because of the trials, I've been through so much. When he died, I went through hell. And at that stage of my life, I was still young. See, I don't like photography makeup at all. I was still young, but then
No, you're
I
stronger
don't
than
feel say I
that.
for.
You are stronger than that.
I know. I'm that bold kind of person that I know what I want, even growing up. When I don't hear Abigail they talk, and Abigail adjusts me. And sometimes when she says something to me, I don't say like a I can say like, yeah, that was the person I was. So if she says something to me, that now me, I'm not afraid for tell nobody nothing. So
we were not born in midterm. Let we get hope, say one day we go make them. We were not born with money, less opportunity. Still we want be somebody. It's not easy. We not pop up in. One day we too go turn to go. God not
sexual relationships between people with power, aka lecturers, and their students. At Fabric Collect today, we have lecturers who have married their students, and the dean and other people attended the wedding. That's disgraceful. That should not be happening. It's a power imbalance. And I currently teach at Fabric College. And you're right about the culture. It's so pervasive that some students, even on the first day of class, I come to class and I say, listen, I will never sleep with any of you, not now, not ever, not in the future. And then I make that very clear on the first day of my class. I'm here to be different. I'm here not because I love Fabric College, but because I hate Fabric College. And I'm only doing this because I want to contribute to changing what I hate about this place. That's what I say to them. And yet, in the course of the semester, some of the students proposition me. They tell me how I look so nice. We're on a WhatsApp group because I need to keep them on WhatsApp group.
We were not born in midterm. Let we get hope, say one day we go make them. We were not born with money, less opportunity. Still we want be somebody. It's not easy. We not pop up in. One day we too.
That was not enough. We were sleeping, of course, in the living room. This was the time we even had to fight every night for a position, because position was very important.
Which position?
Where you sleep, who say you to sleep? Because you don't want to sleep right at the door. When dad wakes up at night, he might be like sleeping stupor. He will just step on you. You don't want to sleep there. You want to sleep in the corner, So it was difficult. When you sleep, I'm going to that domoto because it will mass you here. So it was very important. Positioning was very important. Say around 7, 8, we're all in bed. Oh, Nami get this spot too. Nami the Lidoya. Oh, no, not to you, Nami. No, Nami the Lidoya. It was like that. It was very difficult in Wayamba. So we had to sell kerosene. We had to sell.
We were not born in midterm. Let we get hope, say one day we go make them. We were not born with money, less opportunity. Still we want be somebody. It's not easy. We not pop up in. One day we too go turn to go. God not this.
They want to sleep with me. But then my mommy, it's a nonchalant. And then we'll be small, if you don't decide a woman not to touch you in a bucket and waiting for you. So on that day, and me, I'll be like, no, what day? I'll be like, no. So na short skirt I be wear, short jean skirt. For go, I remember na be Saturday, I just come on Saturday lesson. So if they hand me the script, I want to take and then you want to touch me. I don't know who side the wisdom come on in the strength. I just pack and kick my balls and then I run out. So imagine, end up make another movie. So that was happening where even for like do movies back then, people that were sexually harassed us for that. So in the end now, how I ended up being an actress, now through Lance and Sparta. Sparta is a very young guy. He do law at Unimac right now. He's such a talent. Sparta na one person way na he make a begin movies na salon. He helped me become an actress. He has never ever even by joke.
We were not born to meet them. Let we get hope, say one day we go make them. We were not born to meet money, less opportunity. Still we want be somebody. It's not easy. We not pop in. One day we two go turn to God not this.
I was born now Mabila magazine, and people let me know me for Junior, so they call me Junior. And I born one of the slum settlement. Yes, I'm in Edwardian. I'm proud of that. I mean, Edwards ago. I mean, I'm a pack guy. Anyway, I will come to that. So I born Mabila magazine. And I go on a United Muslim Primary School. It's a bit Mabela, Dong Dovcourt.
Of course,
and me grandpa,
not only animals.
Yeah, not only animals, but at behind the Eastern Police, back of the.
Okay, I think I be the past day for go school.
No, yeah, if you go there at the destination on the last side, you know the pass. If you go there, pass you come back. Pass you go to Posin. You know? So we are there, I mean, we born at that area there, you know.
We were not born to meet them. Let we get hope, say one day we go make them. We were not born to meet money, less opportunity. Still we want be somebody. It's not easy. We not pop in. One day we two go turn to God not this.
And in a corrugated zinc shack, you call Pan Body, Taylor Street, Kissy. There's a video that was showed by Africell in a commercial that they did, which was called Our Everyday Heroes, and they featured a young boy actually telling my story. And that building that was at the back there was exactly the building I was born in. I had to sell my way to school during the morning when we were in the morning shift. We'll go to school in the morning, and in the afternoon join my parents in the markets, and then in the evening I would actually sell kerosene. So when it flipped, when afternoon shift, I would actually be selling donuts. My elder brother and myself would be selling donuts in the morning shift, and that's what we would use to prepare ourselves.
We were not born to meet them. Let we get hope, say one day we go make them. We were not born to meet money, less opportunity. Still we want be somebody. It's not easy. We not pop in. One day we two go turn to